happy Assumption Day to all Roman Catholic Christians worldwide, and welcome to another hour-long brainstorming session reserved for retrospective insights into trending topics in the news over the preceding 7 days. This, of course, is Newsroom. I'm Tariq Evangelino in Douala, but first things first, the headlines.
Across the world and over the years, the national identity card has stood out as an essential document authenticating nationality for inhabitants of various countries. But in Cameroon, the card, introduced shortly after independence, has over the years been disregarded and dishonored and even auctioned to foreigners at giveaway rate. Only thanks to the Boko Haram crisis are Cameroonians rediscovering the worth of the national identity card. In this edition of Newsweek, we ask what can be done to secure the card and give it back its true value. In recent weeks, Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau, who used to appear in videos shouting menaces to the governments of the West, Nigeria, Chad, and Cameroon, has been absent from the scene. This week, Chadian President Idris Deby Itno announced the Nigerian-based Islamic militant group now has a new leader in the person of Muhammad Daoud, who, according to reports, is open for negotiations. In Newsroom this week, we ask how much credence can be accorded President Idris Deby's declaration, and above all, what can possibly lie in the future for Boko Haram without the radical Shekau. After stretching its disobedience following a June 4 one-month suspension by the National Communication Council, the Yaoundé and Douala offices of the Pan-African television station Afrique Media have been forcefully shut down.
I think the in their logic of trying to, as they will put it, sanction journalistic malpractices.
And while proponents of the law and journalism probity proceed that the embarrassments of the audiovisual have finally been put on hold, Afrique Media has continued broadcasting from beyond Cameroon's borders in Malabo to the delight of its die-hard viewers.
It's an embarrassment, but of course, we saw that coming. And we understand that in Cameroon, we're talking about press freedom, and press freedom is only free when you talk in favor of the system. That is what they're making us to understand.
Coming up, we question what next in the National Communication Council's ambition to clip the wings of the media organ. Welcome. This is Newsroom, reaching you live from our studios in Douala, Cameroon.
And just for reminders, Newsroom comes to you live concomitantly on Canal 2 International and Canal 2 English. Now, he's a tough-talking journalist with the French language daily Le Jour. He is also president of the Cameroon Journalists Trade Union. Of course, Denis Kwebo, welcome.
Thank you very much, and good morning to all viewers.
This week, you were in our newsroom at Canal 2 International, and the crux of your visit was a talk about, the rights, duties and obligations of journalists, and of course, vis-a-vis their relationship with their employers. Yeah. What was the driving force behind your visit and the talk?
Well, the Cameroon Journalists Trade Union operates under Convention 87 of the International Labour Organization. Okay. And under this convention, one of the duties of a trade union is to educate employees on their rights and obligations. Because this is all about the dialectics of labor. Right. If you want to be a good worker, you must master all your rights and master your obligations at the same time.
And I guess you say journalists across Cameroon hardly master their rights and obligations.
Some don't know, they know neither their rights nor their obligations. And most of the problems we're encountering, most journalists have been sacked for very slight mistakes due to the fact that they don't know their rights, and they don't know their obligations as well. And we explained at the newsroom that a worker does not bargain his rights against his obligations. Okay. These are two parallel concepts that under the system of, under a dialectic system operate. Okay. So that's why we came, and we're very happy that most of the people were there listening to us, and at the end of the day, we realized that this was a very welcome move.
Of course, at some point in time during your talk, someone joked that you were the latest recruit for Canal 2. But seriously speaking, it appears the transfer windows are opening for journalists across the country. But what do you make of journalists hopping from one news organ to the other?
The journalists should be very, very careful. And for the recent years, the profession has witnessed some problems due to the star mania brought by TV and radio. Because everybody works on TV and radio to get a job. Okay. It is not possible to go and hire a job with the print because it takes some know-how to go and work with the print. Okay. Now that they have given room to everybody, just anybody, to come and work on TV, they move from one station to the other without doing just the basic techniques of bargaining. They don't know anything about the salaries. They don't know anything about, that's why we talked about the rights and obligations of a worker. So here, when there's an opening for somebody from nowhere to come and hire a job, it is a danger for the profession itself.
Okay, thanks. Some call it journalism prostitution, and they say it's gaining grounds rapidly across Cameroon. He may be a customs broker, but he is an avid news consumer and, of course, an analyst and social critic. And he's a familiar face on Newsroom, even though he's been missing in action for quite a while. D4 Ferdinand, welcome.
Thank you very much.
How have you been? You must agree competition is soaring to the rooftops at the Douala Seaport.
What sort of competition?
Competition among customs brokers coming to work at the same place?
No, that is not the main. That's not the main thing at the port. We still have the poor dredging of the estuary.
The channel that leads.
We still have multiple controls, lack of visibility. We still have a lot of cost, duration, who does what. We still have colonial structures like the SGS operating there. We still have they doing anything they want to do, and the government is quiet.
All right. Now, the question I was going towards is, why is the customs brokerage sector so appealing to Anglophones?
It's possible to have, quite often you realize people who are not trained, they just jump in. I would say that each family now has 2 clearing agents, proper training, poor training, and the ease, even though the system cleans some of the mess, but the ease with which people come to this profession is problematic.
Okay.
But since we are in a corrupt, terrible system, the system needs every type of person in that position.
Okay. Now let me take you up to the northwest region, that's the northwest of Cameroon. In recent days, the administrative seat Bamenda has been lashed by torrential downpours and of course ensuing floods. This is unprecedented because it's not been seen at this magnitude in Bamenda, which is hilly. And you say it is due to a lack of adequate drainage systems and of course short-sightedness with no early warning systems in place.
No, we have a system which is not proactive. We have a system which only reacts. What is permanent in the north, the overflow in the north, the floods in the north, has the government any plan for the north, which is recurrent, year in, year out? Bamenda is a minute thing, it may appear again after 20 years.
The Maga Dike is getting towards completion very
Completion, soon. Yes. At one moment, we heard it was finished, some 2 years back. It collapsed with the first rains and we put Nigeria inside problems and so on. So Bamenda is not surprising. You remember in Bamenda, it's surprising because, well, it's a new phenomenon, but in Bamenda, everybody plants eucalyptus. Bamenda, we don't even have water to drink.
Okay.
In the end, rain comes, we've got poor drainage, no poor alerting system, bad governance, poor administration, and the people are exposed. It's Cameroon.
The consequences we hear from our Bamenda correspondent, Annie Collins, is that one 5-year-old girl has died, farmland and livestock have been wrecked, and of course property too. And this is sad because we are at the back-to-school period. Now, he is a founding member of the Cameroon Anglophone Movement, the All Anglophone Conference, and of course the Southern Cameroon's National Council. He is also a clinician and book writer based in Washington, D.C. in the United States. Some of his works include Partners in Prison, Latino Dance, Black Latino, Dance with the Mighty Tiger, and of course lots more, including Echoes of Mount Mary. And that's not all he does in terms of writing. Christmas at Ebini. Great to have you. And you don't like me calling you Christ.
I don't know why you call me Christmas, but you have to tell me that. I corrected you once and you still repeated it. But I think you mean Christ instead of Christ.
Okay, because
you're avoiding
Christ and Mark.
Okay. No problem.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're actually en route to Washington, D.C. You are leaving this evening?
Yes, I am.
So what brought you to Cameroon this time around?
I was here in April. I came here April and left in May. Unfortunately for me, my junior sister with whom I was during my last visit died.
Oh, condolences.
Yes, so I had to come back here to bury her.
You came to Cameroon at a time when, I thought you were coming to, it was a yearning for inspiration that brought you back home. But you came to Cameroon at a time when the Southwest Chiefs, for example, have added their voice to those of the common law lawyers, decrying, quote, marginalization of Anglophones.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Did it impact you? Did you feel it?
I feel it very well. And being a founding member of the Cameroon Anglophone movement, you would know that part of the problem we have had on building Anglophone or Southern Cameroons, because very soon you'll not know what Anglophone means because everybody in Cameroon might become an Anglophone, even those who are of Francophone origin. So we must be very careful to use those terminologies very carefully, especially when we are talking of a nation or a territory that came into union like Southern Cameroons. To me, it's a very golden period for any person, any informed and reflective activist in the Southern Cameroon struggle.
In other words, you're saying the time is now?
It is a good time because what we had about firm consolidation, about the unity of purpose and even acceptance of an existing problems was from the Southwest refusing to have a strong political collaboration with the Northwest.
Okay.
And you know that is because of Cameroon and
Do you see the barriers coming down?
I don't know how much time I have, but let me tell you.
You got like 2 minutes.
Let me tell you. I've been finishing to read von Mokete's book.
Yes.
These are the enablers of the betrayal of Southern Cameroon's nation, and they know the truth.
In other words, you mean he's one of the black legs?
For von Mukete to come now, even a little bit on linguistic line to say that there's a problem, that is a gift to us,
Okay.
and we should embrace it.
Right.
Same from the chiefs and the lawyers.
So we're going to find time to, come back to that in greater detail. But I just wanted to move out with you by asking, how tough or easy is it being a book writer based abroad, 6,000 kilometers away in the U.S., and writing for a Cameroonian audience or public?
Well, I'm a Cameroonian. If I'm in Washington, it's due to circumstances. I do love this country. I love its people.
Okay.
I left this country to United States and came back after my education to serve my nation. And I was a civil servant, an economics teacher, and circumstances, because of my refusal to accept the things that I saw in place from the corruption of my principals in the schools that I taught, up to the civil service and even up to the presidency, I decided that instead of remaining here and being subjected to that, I could fight from outside.
Some would say you would have stayed indoors to fight the fight right here rather than fighting from abroad. But anyway, we're going to talk about this.
Well, it's not fair when you throw it away. You throw it that way and then leave me not to say it. I did not run away, because one of my guilts is even being away from here. It's no joy being away from your country that you love.
Okay. Thanks very much for coming once again, and thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Lots of gratitude. And let's now take a brief breather and revisit what the paper said this week. Up next is Press Review. Hot off the printers at the crack of dawn Monday, the Post served its readers a stinging SDF criticism of the BR regime's stretching laxity following news reports narrating the traumatic plight of Cameroonian migrants transformed into modern-day slaves in Kuwait and Lebanon. According to SDF chieftain Nijon Fundi, it is hard to imagine that while other countries have been evacuating their nationals trapped in similar circumstances, Yaoundé continues to opt for silence. Ostensibly waving off claims of biased reporting being heaped on the publication by Boya Council officials, the Post drove home another nail of discomfort, narrating how Mayor Patrick Ekema Isunge, via an August 5 decision, obliged frowning business owners at the Mile 17 Motor Park to each pay 1 million francs CFA. The contributions, estimated to total some 36.5 million francs, will be used in erecting an anti-Boko Haram fence around the park. Despite nationwide dissatisfaction with shortcomings blemishing the conduct and publication of results of the 2015 session of the GCE, praise-singing rays of light from the star faulted unnamed detractors for attempting to run down the GCE board. The delivery reserved 3 whole pages for GCE board registrar Sir Humphrey Monono to uphold claims the exams unfolded age-free despite ongoing probes to unmask fraudsters. Meantime, according to Eden, relations between mayors and government delegates across the country are heading for the rocks following a June 8 decree signed by Prime Minister Philemon Yang handing over the control of markets to municipal councils. And as mayors awaiting the enactment of the decision gleefully rubbed their palms in cautious optimism, the country's millions of mobile telephone users began editing their conversations as the government opted for a renewed campaign to identify and then monitor subscribers' discussions. Trailing Eden, The Sun debuted the week with a front-page photo of Southwest Governor Bernard Okalia Bilai and his contemporaries from the East and North regions being decorated with medals of honor by Territorial Administration boss Rene Emmanuel Sadi in recognition of their hard work. And as the over 1.1 million francs CFA collected by the Presbyterian Church in Boya's offerings during the July 25 funeral of the late Chief SML Ndele looked certain to tear the church apart, The Sun brandished threats of protests by some 3,000 potential victims of the forthcoming Tico Airport rehabilitation. The restless property owners, the paper noted, have served various diplomatic missions in Yaoundé with copies of petitions asking the government to relocate the airport. On its part, Lameteo predicted a looming fall from grace for National Investment Corporation and WCPDM chair Yao Aisatu, as well as Yaoundé government delegate Timi Evuna, alias Jack Bauer, summoned alongside others to the Special Criminal Court over allegations of their involvement in the swindling of funds destined for the Banana Plantain Economic Reconversion Program. While the threatened region barons contemplated tactics to duck the anti-corruption Operation Sparrowhawk, La Nouvelle Expression worried over the suspicious silence of the Office du Baccalaureat and Secondary Education Minister Bapes after an absentee candidate's name appeared in the list of successful candidates at this year's BAC exams. Evoking prospects of a brewing storm of political agitation, Parole, in its lead story Wednesday, heralded Frank Bia's ambition to succeed his father in future elections. Though the embryonic presidential aspiration is not illegal, considering the president's son is a Cameroonian like any other, fault finders immediately went to work, arguing leadership change in Cameroon will never be dynastic. In the meantime, and with the sealing of Afrique media outlets in Yaoundé and Douala claiming the headlines in various deliveries for the week, Far North Governor Miji Awabakari embarrassed the government in La Nouvelle Expression, lambasting vote-hungry CPDM bigwigs for fabricating and issuing the national identity cards to foreigners in bids to boost their election victory chances. Former SDF Secretary General Professor Tazwacha Asongani has been crisscrossing the country this week to launch a new book titled Cameroon, Difficult Choices in a Failed Democracy. The said publication, previously launched in Yaoundé, Douala, and recently Boya, extensively lingers around a 2005 accusation insinuating he killed the wife of John Fundi back in 2005. He says the rumor was a motivating factor for his departure from the SDF. Ferdinand Difo, why would he spill the beans in 2015, 10 years on?
I don't know. He's best placed to know. But it's quite troubling. I read through the book, page 146. He talks of rumors that he poisoned Fundi, rumors that he killed Fundi's wife. Page 320, rumors that the CPDM is dining with the SDF on a daily basis. Well, 2006 up till now, he still remains at the level of rumors. It's quite troubling. I thought by now he would be pinpointing, say, okay, now, concretely, these are the proofs. And that, well, this movement that intended to have change derailed or come back or it will be wiped off.
Okay.
For me, his position is problematic for me. Let me tell you, I'm of the SDF.
Right.
But when I look around, I see parties like Maridem, UPC. If he thinks that things are not moving well with the SDF, why will he not just move to Maridem next door, have that focus? Why can he not create another movement to do what the SDF is not able to do?
All right.
Why dirty everybody at the end?
Dennis, he actually just talks about why dirty everybody, saw the image of everybody at the end. But the book actually bears Professor Tazwacha Asongani's frustrations with the SDF, if you look through keenly. And he says, well, he left because it was clear the SDF was going to collapse and that the party has collapsed. Would you agree with him that the SDF is
No, I think Professor Asongani is a very bad politician. And back to the 2005, during the crisis between Asongani and the other SDF bigwigs, I told some of my friends that being a politician myself, I'm a student of politics, a practicing student of politics. When you look at a university student, a professor, behaving the way Professor Asongani behaved, he is not a politician. And the SDF can be accused today of having manufactured some fake politicians because of the big name that the party had it has done a lot of, it has caused a lot of inconveniences to Cameroonians by bringing up men with no history in terms of political activity and who have left. If at all Professor Asonge was actually a good and serious politician,
Yes.
he would have had an avenue to express himself as a politician, as I said, that he said. So, and it is very intriguing that up till now, he is nowhere. And if he is nowhere, I'm very sure he is somewhere.
Okay.
People accuse him of having embraced indirectly the system. And this is all about what is happening, the way he talked, what he has written. Who's that? He wants everybody, the whole system to collapse along with him.
Okay.
If not, a good politician, a statesman would not be talking like that.
Okay.
So I'm not close to the SDF. When we listen to a politician, a former militant, talk the way he's talking, it means that he was a fake militant of the SDF.
Just for the record, Rose Fundi actually died on April the 24th, 2005 after she was evacuated to a hospital in Switzerland. Mr. Ebini, Asongani says